it's Spielberg and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So Time Lord Victorious is here. Time Lord Victorious is thing. Time Lord Victorious is a multi-platform marketing initiative. Very, very, very noticeably not having anything to do with the current era of Doctor Who, which I take as an inference that it's not been their strongest marketing choice. You know. Also, if you look at all the Time Lord Victorious stuff, it does put the current Doctor Who logo, which insists on being on every freaking thing, every freaking where. But it kind of like molds it into the background and makes the Time Lord Victorious logo much more prominent, and also just kind of like hooks into like Ultimate Doctor Who, kind of has that Matt Smith, David Tennant kind of feel, which I think is what they're really aiming for with Time Lord Victoria. So it's been it's supposed to be a story told over much media, and each thing is supposed to be its own individual thing, and it builds up to reveal this incredible story. So it's not really doing that. It seems to me to be a novel that ties into two comic strips, right? So far, that's as much as I can see. There's the comic strip in Doctor Who magazine, in which the Ninth Doctor somehow is able to go back to the dawn of time when the pre-Time Lords, the Gallifreyans, headed by a black woman called Rassilon. You know, how much on 2020 can you get that is fighting the vampires, from State of Decay, and the Doctor shows up with a fleet of vampires at the end of the book, and then you got the Titan book, which I'm going to be reviewing tomorrow, where the Doctor is working for the Daleks, who don't remember the Time War, and there's the 10th Doctor. And then he shows up at the end of the book with a fleet of Daleks, all to stop that. Well, that's the 8th. That would be the 10th Doctor, right? The 10th Doctor, I think. I know they show up. No, it's not. It's the Paul McGann Doctor who shows up with a fleet of Daleks. Don't know where they come from. I guess we're going to find. I guess that's what we're going to find out from the Big Finish releases. And the villain of it is the Time Lord Victorious, who was momentarily David Tennant's Doctor at the end of Waters of Mars, but I thought he kind of got over that, didn't he? Did he say, I'm going to be Time Lord Victorious and save, what's the name, Adele, and then she goes and shoots herself, and he thinks, that's probably a bad idea. And that's kind of how, I got to really watch Waters of Mars. That's kind of how the episode ends. He decides, I'm not going to be Time Lord Victorious. So I don't know. So I haven't read the book. The book, by the way, I'm probably going to be publishing on this channel. I got Problem Being is going to be doing a book on tape, and which I'll put out chapter by chapter. And so you can decide for yourself. But I'm finding this like piecemeal thing just kind of irritating. That's really, really highlighted with this first release from Big Finish, the short trips, Time Lord Victorious, Master Thief, and Lesser Evils. That's look, the price is right at $4.99. You can't go wrong there. And it's got the Master. It's got the Delgado Master in it. It's got the Alien Master in it. All played by John Carter. All these are big draws for me. All these are very big draws. So let's see what the stories themselves are like. But before we get there, gosh, you guys, can you hit that subscribe button? I'm getting close to, how much? 1,800 subscribers? That'd be awesome. Am I? Yeah, I'm about 30, 40 subscribers out. I'm getting close to 1,800 subscribers. If you can help me out there, that'd be really good. Just one click. I am genuinely, I say it every video, and every video is freaking true. I am genuinely, ridiculously, and pathetically grateful for all of you that subscribe. If you subscribe, you can enter my weekly competitions. The prize this week is Doctor Who, Power of the Daleks. This is the animated version, the first animated version, which for some reason they feel I need to redo. I haven't seen the new one yet. I got the Blu-ray. I'm still watching Fury from the Deep. But yeah, so you got they did that. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag I am your servant. I am your servant, and we'll do the prize draw on, when is it? It's gonna be think. Sunday the 11th. Sunday the 11th when I'm on Noel's channel doing a watch along of the Shakespeare Code. Ooh, good story, good story. Also, this is your last day, your absolute last day to get your prayer requests in. It's a big Jewish, well, not that big. It's a Jewish holiday tomorrow, a minor Jewish holiday called Hoshana Rabbah, which is when the fate of the nations is sealed by the good Lord above. I think you have a multiverse of fate sealed, depending on, I think you still have free choice. Listen, it doesn't matter if you believe this crap, doesn't matter if you don't believe it, doesn't matter if you're an atheist, doesn't matter if you're a Jew, doesn't matter if you're Christian, doesn't matter. If you want something, and you want me to pray for you, I do not know if it'll work. I take no responsibility for it, but I will pray for you tomorrow on this on this holy day in the holy land of Israel. I'm happy to do that. Send your prayer requests in. Email me. It's in the video notes. Fine. Oh, and please, members only. Please, members only. I got a file like this thick now. It's going to take me forever. And it's a super long prayer service anyway. It's going to take me freaking forever. Okay, so today's the last day. Get your prayer requests. I mean, listen, look, if anything's bothering any of you and you want me to pray for you, just ask me as well. I'm not going to say no. But this, for this specific goal, I'm happy to. Fine. So Big Finish has released their first Time Lord Victorious Time. These short trips, Master Thief and Lesser Evils. Master Thief is a Roger Delgado story, and Lesser Evils is a Amy story. The vastly superior one here, and worth the $4.99 entrance fee alone, is Lesser Evils by Simon Gurrier. Master Thief is by Sophie Isles. Sophie Isles is look, Doctor Who fandom is certainly split right now. She seems to be on the side that I'm not on. Okay, I don't know. I had to look at her Twitter feed. There's nothing really that hateful in there. And, the people who are really on the other side of me are just rah! But the truth is, when I was looking through her Twitter feed to try and work out who she is, I was scrolling. It seemed like freaking forever. Scrolling. I got through 20 hours. So that's a lot of tweets. Okay, that's a lot of bloody tweets. So she's known to be an illustrator. And look, honestly, I really don't like it. I'm really glad that she's successful, and I wish her every success. It's not for me at all. She does these very childish, cartoony drawings of the Doctors or Doctor Who stuff. Which I imagine they take time, they take talent, but I kind of like things to be a bit more dramatic and photorealistic. That's the kind of, like John Ridgway, he's my, Alison Pearson, Andrew Skilleter. Those are the Doctor Who artists that I really, really kind of dig. Dave McKean, he's not Doctor Who artist, but that kind of hyper photorealistic. This is very cartoonish. A lot of people like it. I really, really hate it. I really, really hate it. I just think it doesn't take that much. I take much work, and it's okay. But again, I don't want to be mean to her. It just seems like she's got her pronouns in a thing, and a rainbow. It's everything. Is a warning flag for me. So and it's fine. So she has the right politics. She's the right. I assume then. She's the right personality fit to be picked up by Big Finish, picked up by this group that screams about diversity and then runs from it with the greatest people. So she wrote this story called Master Thief, which is essentially about the Delgado Master breaking and entering, doing a crime on a planet. It's okay. It's not bad. It's a reasonably pedestrian story where not much happens in it until the end, when it suddenly squeezes in a whole new thing into Doctor Who lore, which I didn't realize was there, which I just think is a bad idea for a new writer. I think a new writer should really focus on just telling a good story, without any bangs or surprises, or look at this part of canon we never knew about yet. No, just before you can walk. Tell me a good, engaging story, which actually the Simon Gurrier story, the letter actually is. In terms of John Culture's performance, he's fantastic. He's always fantastic, and you do get a feeling that you're listening to Roger Delgado. So again, it's the first time both these masters are represented on audio. And you do, it does feel like I'd be intrigued to hear what he's like, not narrating, but actually, playing the character. I mean, his Brigadier was pitch perfect. I mean, absolutely pitch perfect in that third Doctor set, the last one. So this was pretty good. This one was pretty darn good. Yeah, and I just got the feeling. But again, okay, I always assumed by Deadly Assassin, the reason the Master had become desiccated is because the Delgado Master was the last one. I mean, but that doesn't really make sense. He's the first one we saw. But that seemed to be the inference on the Deadly Assassin Master was a desiccated version of the Delgado Master who had started to fall apart because of his great age. But was he the first one? I don't know. So anyway, so they add in something that contradicts that. Quite sharply. They added something that contradicts it quite sharply. And the whole Master Timeline thing is a bit confusing. It's just made it more confusing. And if it fitted neatly into established canon, I would have been much more on board with it. I feel this is adding to established canon. Again, I just think it's a mistake for a new writer. It's not a bad story. It's not a bad story at all. It's fun to spend 40 minutes in the company of the Delgado Master, which essentially you do. And it's a pretty it hits on all the tropes. How it ties into the Time Lord Victorious, I don't know. I have no idea at all. So yeah, this is the annoying thing about Time Lord Victorious. It's not piquing my interest to go, oh, I wonder how that fits. No, I'm a Doctor Who fan, which means I am like having obsessive knowledge about Doctor Who. And when something doesn't fit into that obsessive knowledge, rather than being filled with wonder, I'm filled with irritation, which is what this freaking series is doing. It's just filling me with irritation. So I don't know how this, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say how this big thing fits into the wider story, what Delgado Master's doing, where he is, how I have no connection to Time Lord Victorious at all. So I would say the same thing about Lesser Evils had I not known, had they not heavily told everyone that Katura was one of the major players in it. That's the alien at the time. And it's a good story. Okay, this is a good story, but again, how it fits into Time Lord Victorious, I think there's some more details there that I don't know about, which is annoying. So you have Anthony Ainley's Master, who's been stranded for many years on this primitive planet at the dawn of time. How long's he been there? I don't know how he got there. He's having a bit of a change of heart from his villainy. They talk about how his velvet costume has been meticulously mended, and so they talk about how he's been there for so long. And there's a Katura visiting, and what the Katura does, they assign lifespans to animals. It's or to all creatures. To all creatures, they assign lifespan. So and you get inside the head of the Katura. They're interesting. They're an interesting alien. I like them. But they're nothing really that special. I honestly, Big Finish created a villain, an alien species in the name of the Eminence, which kind of feels a bit similar but better. It's a bit better. This is a bit. It doesn't strike me as being the world shaking thing that it is. It sounds like a bolt on. It's not like, but it's fine. They're fine. But the actual story of Ainley's Master stranded on this planet, who turns out to be an advocate for these primitive species that live there, is a really interesting one. And John Carshaw's delivery of Ainley, really interesting. You do get that feeling of Anthony Ainley. So for me, this is a recommend. It's a recommend on Lesser Evils because it's a good story. It's a good story. Again, how it fits into the wider Time Lord Victorious thing, I don't know. And I'm speaking of somebody who's bought a lot of Time Lord Victorious so far. I bought the book. I said that the problem being, I hope he's going to be doing a reading of that soon. So I haven't read the book, but I bought the book. But I bought the comic strip. I bought Doctor Who magazine. I bought the second issue of the title comic. I'm going to read that today, do a review tomorrow. I still don't know how Time Lord Victorious works. And again, these throwing these puzzle pieces out there isn't intriguing me to ask more. Which it did with Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones, that first series when I got the Blu-ray, I couldn't stop listening to these supplemental stuff about hearing all that stuff about the First Men and the history of Westeros. That was it done right. That was like, I want to know more about this. It's just assuming that the reader, the experiencer, is going to want to know more, and it's just an assumption. I don't think they should have made. But on its own merits, $4.99 is a good price point. It's worth it for John Culture's performance. Sophie Isles' story is inoffensive, mostly harmless. How I would describe it. Simon Courier's story, better, good. It's a good, strong story. So yeah. So it's a recommend from me. If a bit of a confused one. So there you go. My little insight, my little showing you into the world of Time Lord Victorious. I'm going to try and get these reviews out as quickly as I can. I got a lot of reviews to get through. I got a Star Cops review. I got to do both. I got to do all 4 box sets. Maybe I'll put that out tomorrow. I got to do the Bernie Summerfield New Adventures with David Bourne. I'm halfway through that. Maybe I'll finish that today. I've also got to do the there's an excellent short trip, which is actually pretty good. I'm going to got through half of it. I'm going to start listen to it again so I can give it a good, because that's actually a pretty good story as well, So there you go. It's a mild and actually it's a reasonably strong recommend for me because it's the price is right. Any more expensive, I will say no way. But $4.99, I think it's fine. My name is Felix Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.